What's going on there, guys? Missy Mimies here, jumping in. It is Sunday, May 30th, 2021, about 12:10 p.m. West Coast time. Hope everybody is enjoying their Memorial Day weekend. It's going to be a scorcher out here in the Sacramento Valley, in my neck of the woods. But yeah, I think it might be hotter this week than it's going to be down in the desert, possibly. Woo! Not liking the heat, guys. Taking a look right now at the latest quakes on the map. We're seeing some activity over here near Clear Lake. Some swarming, if you will, near the Kalyami fault zone. Definitely picking up. A lot of microquake activity. Let's see, all surface quakes for sure. So let's see here. Had a microquake in Ukiah yesterday. Not a whole lot going on the globe, around the globe. West Coast is on target due to lack of activity out on the western part of the Pacific Plate. Japan region is still seeing lack of activity. Only like a handful of 4s, and then that 5 and 5.5. But then again, nothing. And then another, I believe, let's see, 5.4 hit earlier today. Very deep movement. 517.6 kilometers. That is some pretty deep movement there, indicating stress buildup. And then we've also got a swarm going on out here near the Taiwan region, the largest being a 4.9. But other than that, nothing really going on this side of the plate. Still some aftershock activity up here in China, and then some, I believe, some aftershock activity still over here in India. This is near that very large quake that hit them not too long ago. But a lot of the activity in this area is led up to the fact that there is pressure buildup here along the Japan region. So it's kind of pushing off this direction. Yesterday I ran seen some activity as well. So, but other than that, not a whole lot going on over here. A 4.5, excuse me, a very deep, 134.6 kilometers below the surface between Papua New Guinea and Indonesia this morning. So other than that, though, yeah, just there's a lot of deep movement going on out here. The quakes in Taiwan, for the most part, are all very shallow. So, but it's interesting to see that there's shallow surface quakes here, or like shallow quakes here, and then there's deep movement along here. So we're definitely keeping an eye on that big time, because I still believe that we have not seen anything yet. Like, I believe there's still a very large quake, probably in the upper 7, maybe 8 range, or maybe higher, who knows. I'd love to go back and see the activity for this area previous to that large 9 point, I believe it was a 9.2 that struck here off the coast of Japan in 2011, which led to that very large tsunami. It was very devastating for the people of Japan. So I would love to go back and look at the activity, if possible, prior to that quake. Not that it would predict anything, but just would like to see, like what was going on prior to that, and maybe compare the data But obviously you can't predict earthquakes. We just watch and wait and warn. So be prepared. 5.3 out here yesterday in Fiji. Very, very deep movement. 530.8 kilometers. This is a deep movement area, so it's not shocking. And then 4.6 near the Kermadec Island region this morning, very early this morning, 10 kilometers. So it's interesting to see in these areas we're seeing extremely deep movement, and then we're seeing not so deep movement. So it's just proof that there's a lot of buildup over here, which is why the West Coast is still moving so much in on target. But as you can tell, this area is no stranger to large movement, deep movement, a lot of movement. It being a subduction area, subduction zone. But yes, a lot of movement in the past and recent through this entire area. So it's no stranger for sure. New Zealand having that dangerous, it's actually pretty dangerous. The Kermadec Island, the Kermadec Trench down into the Hikurangi Trench is actually a very active, very capable of producing very large quakes. The Hikurangi Trench being possible to produce large quake and large tsunamis. So definitely an area to keep an eye on. We have been seeing deep movement, but we have not seen extremely large deep movement or large anything lately. It's no stranger to 8.0s. So definitely quiet. So we're keeping an eye on this area as well. Ooh, wrong button. Earlier, about literally 13 minutes apart, we seen some movement over here following movement seen in the Chile region, very deep, 4.3 in Chile, 115 kilometers below the surface. And then yesterday, Argentina seen some deep movement as well. Still a lot of activity, still some activity going on over here. And it's very deep. A lot of deep movement across the entire Pacific Ring of Fire as of late. So, but we seen a foreshock of a 5.1, and then a few, like 13 minutes later, literally, a 5.3 in the southern East Pacific rise. So other than that, there's nothing else here. So we could see future movement here, or it could just be, there's a lot of pressure buildup. Things are, I feel like when we see things going on out here, sometimes we'll get some movement out here into this region, and so on and so forth. We're not going to get into pressure transfer and things like that. That's a whole another explanation that we can get into another day. I kind of got to keep it brief as I've got my little one, and she's kind of fussy today. So let's see. We've seen they're 4.1 in Tecominocan, Mexico. I don't think I said that right, but we'll just go with that. Some days. Yesterday they seen that 4.1, 35 kilometers below the surface. Puerto Rico this is in Cuba, 4.1, 10. This was today, 10 kilometers below the surface. Seen a little bit of movement there. So, and then Puerto Rico still got some activity going on out here, but it seems to be quieting down a little bit. Largest one today was a 3.2, following those twos, mid-range twos yesterday. So, and then a 2.6 after that. So Otherwise, not, yeah, just not a whole lot going on. We've kind of gone through a little quiet spell on quakes. Um, Maybe not on the West Coast. That's definitely, we'll get into the West Coast shortly. Let's see. This struck, yeah, 3:56 a.m. There was a 4.2, and then not too long ago another a 4.3 on the Aleutian Island trench here. So that one was, let's see, 43.1 kilometers for the 4.2, but more extremely deep movement on the Aleutian Islands here. 157.8 kilometers for that 4.3. So there's definitely something brewing here. I'm thinking in this area because upstream you're seeing deep movement, downstream you're seeing deep movement. So this area needs to be will be monitored very carefully. Let's see here. Just not a whole lot going on. Yeah, like some activity in Alaska, some microquakes going on. Just everyday movement really. And then within this region of that large quake could still be seen aftershock activity. If anything of note, we'll definitely look into, but just with everything going on that side of the plate, or not lack of activity rather, other places are picking up. So there was also a 2.0 in the looks like a northwestern British Columbia. So just that was like that one was a surface quake, so it wasn't too bad. Seattle picking up. This is picking up an activity for sure. Earlier I was looking at this and there was only one quake up here, one microquake, and now we're seeing some more popping off. And so, like Washington is now moving with some swarming activities here and here. Let's see. Yeah, see, this is some activity popping off near Mount Rainier. This is kind of near. Yeah, that's like, wow. Yeah, so we'll be monitoring that for sure. It's very I can't remember what it's called, like subsurface activity. That's interesting, if that's the proper word for it. But yeah, so got some movement in Washington. We will look into that for Mount Rainier. Let's see what's here. Near Lake Spirit Lake, there's also some microquake activity. So let's see, there was also last night a 3.2 off the coast of Oregon, in the megathrust area of the Cascadia. So also it was 10.0 kilometers. So we're still seeing some activity within this area. Tremor has been, it's been either absent or low or picking up and then back to absent. So it's kind of all over the place. So we will check that tonight and compare, that I believe yesterday there wasn't any tremor, if I remember correctly. So I will have to look into that. But I wasn't doing tremor today just because I have to keep this kind of short. And it's better just to look and see what's going on tonight on that updated map. Lake Almanor seeing a microquake, and then just a lot of a lot of activity picking up now on the West Coast. Like I said, it's been quiet, and now picking back up just below Clear Lake, seeing some swarming activity. A lot of microquakes. Let's see, geysers. It's showing 209, I believe, within this area. Yeah, 209 quakes. All microquake activity. So, and then there was a little microquake up by Ukiah. A new microquake near Oakland. Got some movement here on the San Andreas, near San Francisco, microquake activity, and then Oakland. So the Bay is picking up with some little swarm activity, and then some microquake activity near the creeping section, and actually still and kind of going down it. This was yesterday, today, and today. So yeah, that's picking up a little bit there. We've got up to the north, up to the center, down the center, and then we've also got it down the southern end. Ridgecrest is picking up in activity as well. The Garlock Fault was seeing some activity on it, I believe it was yesterday, but it's still, now it's moving up here to the north. Let's see. Seeing some Mammoth Lakes is near Mono Lake. These areas are seeing some little microquake activity still as well near Long Valley Supervolcano. So just with the lack of activity, guys, on the western part of the Pacific Plate near Japan, we're going to be moving here on the west coast. So it's definitely something to be watching. Activity is picking up in Southern California, again, near the Salton Sea, a little to the north, near the southern end of the San Andreas Fault. And it's just kind of scattered here, almost like a linear type movement here. And then you're getting the same thing in here near the San Jacinto Fault and on the Elsinore Fault Zone. And then in between here, we're seeing some decent swarming activity going on. 211 quakes within this area, so it's quite an increase. So it's definitely something we will be watching. If we see any interesting swarming happening on the Salton Sea, then we will definitely be keeping an eye out for that. Let's see, Lake Tahoe, the closest one is Markleeville, 2.9 yesterday, but it is all but gone quiet compared to a couple days ago. We are seeing some significant swarming going on in the center of the lake, following all the activity we've seen up here, and that 4.7 that hit in Truckee, above Truckee, and so on and so forth. So it's gone kind of quiet, so we will be watching this for future activity, as this area is prone to larger quake, and a larger quake, 7.5 or is capable within this region. I did a recent update on the Carson City fault system, and the 4 fault systems that break off within this area, which is the Mount Rose Fault, goes from Reno, and then comes down into the Kings Canyon Fault, down into the Genoa Fault system. So it actually branches down all the way into where this quake has struck. That's the furthest it goes, but it does break off into 4 sections, and then it comes down also into here, into the Incline Village Fault, and into the there's the North Tahoe Fault and the Dollar Point fault system and all this stuff. So very capable of producing a large quake. So that is why this region we are keeping an eye on these random swarms that have been happening out here. Other than that, you guys, let's see. Idaho seeing a microquake at the Sawtooth Fault area. Some movement over here in Kansas, a 5.0, and then swarming still taking place over here in Oklahoma City or Oklahoma area. I believe this area, if I remember correctly, is near or within the New Madrid fault system area, fault zone. So we will be keeping an eye on that. There's a quake all the way over here in Tennessee. Just a little 2.2. Otherwise, not a whole lot going on in the earthquake department, especially on the western part. But like I said, West Coast, you're still on target. Texas still seeing some activity over here. But other than that, not much going on. Hawaii, Puerto Rico slowing down a little bit, and then Cuba had a 4.1 yesterday, and then a 4.1 also. I think I covered that in Mexico. So yeah, other than that, not a whole lot going on. Hawaii, still activity, earthquake activity still picking up. 2.7 to the northwestern part of the island near Kaloa, and 6.1 kilometers. And then, let's see, microquake activity still happening out here within this region. Panhala is still getting some activity here. All kind of not super deep, but not surface quakes either. Activity within this area. Leilani states we're seeing where the fissures opened up. We're seeing some activity. I believe it was yesterday or the day before. But other than that, like near Kilauea is getting a little bit of activity, microquake activity, and then down here. But these ones are looks like like a few of them are subsurface. But these ones are surface quakes. That one's, yeah, see, so it could indicate, you know, I mean, with everything going on both the volcanoes, this could indicate magma movement below the surface, coming back out, because there are the seamount is out here, so there are in the Loihi caldera, so there are underwater volcanoes within this region out here. So it could just indicate magma either coming in or moving out, whichever. But other than that, yeah, I think that might be it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the update, and if anything else major happens, of course, we will be jumping back in. Earthmaster will jump on almost immediately upon a major event happening. So otherwise, not a whole lot going on tonight. If he does an update, I'm pretty sure he will. Gonna cover, I believe, Yellowstone and Tremor and the Cascadia, so on and so forth. We'll see what's going on, you guys. Otherwise, anything major big happens, we'll be back on immediately. So have a good day, everyone. Stay safe out there. Have a wonderful Memorial Day, and thanks to all our vets out there who serve and risk their lives every day for us. And but yeah, have a wonderful day, wonderful night, wonderful morning wherever you're watching from. Talk to you guys later.